How are you there? American President Abraham Lincoln was very instrumental in the fight against black slavery in the United States of America. Not only him, but a whole lot of white Americans fought to end the slavery of black people by fellow white Americans. The reasons why I am bringing this up is because, as I have argued, that part of the problems that we have in Zimbabwe is has got largely to do with global capitalism's stronghold on poor, weak countries like Zimbabwe, who require the country's economic prospects to be dire so that our people can be used by global capitalists in Western countries as cheap labor. And the reason why I'm bringing Abraham Lincoln is the same reason I've been bringing up names like Larry Fink and Jamie Dimon, who are both white and both American and not black. Yet I do believe, by seeing how they have been moving, that they have the capacity, willingness, and the moral authority, and also the financial backup, the political stamina to withstand any political or economic forces against poor countries. Jamie Dimon has already alluded to his idea that the United States foreign policy has to be more engaged in poor African states with developmental finance. And Larry Fink, who is one of the, actually not one of the, he is the biggest Wall Street investor uh, with investments in the billions across countries around the world and across industries. He deals with governments, municipalities, and therefore holds a large sway in public policy, not only in the United States, but also in other countries around the world. The same way, uh, Jamie Dimon, who is the CEO of JP Morgan and Chase, one of the biggest bank in Wall Street, with over $4 trillion in assets, he too has got a tremendous amount of political power and sway in the global governance system. By the way, the founder of JP Morgan, who is also called JP Morgan, during the time when he was alive, during the times of pre-First World War, he used to believe that he was as important, or if not more important, than the president of the United States himself, and therefore he commanded respect in Washington. 100 years later, Jamie Dimon is a successor to the very same position, just to show you what a powerful position it is. And it is very instrumental in reshaping the world order as we know it. I want to say that the emancipation of poor people, weak Zimbabweans, uh, is going to happen through the support of people in very high places, strategically placed by God to deliver a word for us. Right in the Oval Office and in the Situation Room, there is a voice that speaks for the poor and marginalized, even if we may not know those people or may not even uh, admire them publicly, but we do know that they exist. Even in the Pentagon, where global capital and the mighty CIA are engineering strategies of keeping small countries undeveloped by supporting rogue states and regimes like that of Idi Mnangagwa. There is an FBI agent, there is a CIA agent in those rooms who is advocating for the emancipation of black people. There is someone who sees the light and the benefits to the American empire of rebuilding African states to ape out the challenge from the Chinese. There are those who see America's strength being based on good governance, solidarity, and empathy to the weak ones. There are those voices, just like Abraham Lincoln was a voice for the marginalized and poor black slaves. This therefore gives me hope that there is a chance for Zimbabwe to finally get out of the hole that we are in spite of the challenges that we meet, that we face, not only in the politicians in Harare, but in the partners, their global economic partners, who through dirty capitalism are exploiting our vulnerabilities. Capitalism has been the best uplifter of human uh, condition in the past 200 years or so since we have come to know of it. Yet the excesses of capitalism need to be kept carefully in order to maintain the power and the sustenance of capitalism. What I am saying is that capitalism should not be allowed to self-destruct. Capitalists like Jamie Dimon and Larry Fink get to and do understand that from how I view them. And I think that we need to be hopeful, therefore, that there is a good future for Zimbabwe, in as much as it might not look like it at the moment. But the world has something called justice, after all. Have a great day.